Hi, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. Thought I'd make a video. It's getting... First it was like 1 day, then 2 days, then 3 days. Now it's 4 days. I don't know where the time goes. It is right now, it is a Thursday night here in West Michigan. It is 9:15 according to my clock. That clock was in this study when we moved into this house 28 years ago. And I think it still has dust on there for 28 years. But, so yeah, I thought I'd do a video, even though it seems that the reason why I don't make videos is because I'm still reading the same books that I showed the last couple of videos. I mean, my reading has not changed much. It's kind of, I was telling my wife, tonight we went out for dinner, and I was thinking, my wife's always telling me I'm reading too much, I'm thinking too much, I need to give my mind a rest. I'm always just in these deep books. And I was thinking to myself, sometimes I remember what I was reading St. John of the Cross, and about how you get to a place where you just have to stop your decursive reading. I mean, you have to just stop intellectualizing everything. Just kind of sit in silence, contemplative silence. And so I should really do that, but I don't know, I like reading. I'm a reader, I'm a bookworm, I'm always reading. Today we did errands today, my wife and I, and stopped at thrift stores, and I got some used books, and tomorrow is a Friday, and I volunteer at the library used bookstore, the Book Nook. I'll probably get some books, and there's always books, there's always reading. I'm always writing in my diary, in my paper diary. I've been doing that since I can remember. In my June 2019 diary, this is the second one. As you all know, the first one is from June the 1st into June the 15th, and then I start on the 16th to the end of the month. I did get the other day, I got a Father's Day card from our son Josiah, #1 Papa. So I got that, and I ended today on page 545 for the year 2019. Tomorrow's a Friday, like I said, and I volunteer at the library used bookstore. It'll be June the 21st, 2019. And I'll be on page 546 unless I write something tonight. So this is supposed to be, I was going to do Friday reads, and I thought, hey, I might as well just stop in and say hi, hope you're doing well. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the new subscribers. This week has gone by very quickly. Here in West Michigan, it has been raining and raining and raining. Yeah, but we did get our house power washed today, which was nice. The sun, it didn't rain, and the guy was able to power wash our house. Yesterday, we cleaned out our garage and took a bunch of chemicals to a disposable site that does that today. As you all know, our daughter Bethany and her husband and our 3 grandchildren are going to be visiting us this weekend until next week. And also next week, our son Josiah and his wife Hannah and their daughter Marika will be visiting us from Seattle. So next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, we'll be all together. And I'll probably make a video and show all our children and their families, us all together. That should be nice. So what I've been reading, well, first of all, I was going to show you a book I got in the mail today. And I bought this book with Amazon gift cards from our children. And I was thinking when I got the gift cards, what can I buy? And I didn't want to buy, I wanted to buy something I would not normally buy or could not afford. And what I bought was this, Biblical Theology of the New Testament by Peter Stuhlmacher. This is translated out of German. This is a very famous New Testament theology work. It was written almost 20 years ago, but when it was being translated, it was revised and certain things were added, but it's a very timeless work. It's very famous among those who are into New Testament theology, Reformed, Evangelical, and so I bought this. It goes for $90, and I got it for $50. So I got this in the mail today when Amazon dropped it off, and so I've been looking at it. Well, this is my main study that we're in right now, and you can see there's books all around, and there's books here. But what's in this main study are also other New Testament or biblical theology of the New Testament. I also have books like this, and I keep in my main study that I like having easy access to. I don't have to go down the lower level, but I keep them here in my main study. This is Theology of the New Testament by Udo Chanel. This is translated by M. Eugene Boring. And then I have New Testament Theology, Magnifying God in Christ by Thomas Schneider. I keep these here. And then I keep this one, Theology of the New Testament by Frank Thalman, A Canonical and Synthetic Approach. And then I keep this one also in here, the New Testament, a Historical and a Theological Introduction by David A. Hagner. So I like reading New Testament theology, New Testament biblical theology. I like reading those kinds of books. And so I got this, Biblical Theology of the New Testament. So this is over 900 pages. Well, let me see. 935 pages. This one is 850 pages. This one by New Testament Theology, Magnifying God in Christ by Thomas Schneider is 978 pages. This one, Theology of the New Testament by Frank Thalman is 770. And this Donald Hagner is about 870 pages. So this is what I read when I'm wandering through the American wasteland. So that's why I'm a kind of a slow reader, because like I said, I get sidetracked. So when I'm reading something like this I get in the mail, I start getting the other books out and doing cross-referencing and reading. And so also I have this book in here, my main study. I didn't show this one. This is New Testament Biblical Theology, Unfolding of the Old Testament and the New by J.K. Beale. He's the one that wrote the foreword to this. Foreword by J.K. Beale. G.K. Beale is one of my favorite New Testament scholars. I have a lot of his books in our library. Besides reading New Testament Biblical Theology, New Testament Theology, I've been reading Reformed Systematic Theology, Revelation and God, Volume 1 by Joel R. Beeke and M. Smalley. Also, I got another book in the mail the other day. I ordered this way back in August of last year. Reformed Ethics, Created, Fallen, and Converted Humanity by Herman Bavinck, edited by John Bolt. And I've been reading Theoretical Practical Theology, Faith in the Triune God Volume 2 by Petrus Mastricht. So these are the kind of things I read in the mornings. Sometimes lately I've been reading them in the evenings, late at night before I go to bed. That's what my wife said to me. Why are you reading such heavy books before you go to bed? She said to me tonight, why don't you just sing some psalms before you go to bed? Or don't fill your head full of all these heavy writings. But I don't know. I like reading this stuff. Like I said, it's the best way to pass your time as you near the end of your life and as you prepare yourself to spend eternity before the face of God. Why not read biblical theology of the New Testament? Can't go wrong. I also have this little book by Peter Stuhlmacher, A Call to the New Perspective, Revisiting Paul's Doctrine of Justification, with an essay by Donald A. Hagner, which I just showed you. This is Donald A. Hagner. This is really good. I read this a couple of years ago and really got blessed by it. I'm sure I'll get blessed reading biblical theology of the New Testament. I get up in the morning, I make some coffee, I have some oatmeal, and I sit down and I just dive into this massive work. Gotta have fun. What else have I been reading? Well, as far as secular, when I'm not, I've been reading this memoir by Katharine Graham. Her father bought the Washington Post, and then when he died, her husband Phil Graham took it over. Then when he died, Katharine Graham took it over. She was always involved in the Washington Post, and this is her memoir, personal history. I'm really kind of enjoying this. I've read 111 pages. I like memoirs. And I've been reading still the novel Ohio by Stephen Markley. I haven't been really impressed with the novel Ohio. It reminds me of a bad coming-of-age HBO kind of series. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's okay. I give it a C. I wouldn't give it a B+ or an A. It's just kind of like in the middle. It's just like a bad acting HBO coming of age, people looking back 10 years when they were in high school, and I don't know. I haven't been impressed by it. So that's what I'm reading. Excuse me. I've gotten over my cold pretty much. My wife, she's getting over her cold. She's still coughing, but she's a lot better. So tomorrow, like I said, is a Friday. Tomorrow will be Friday the 21st. I'll go to the book nook. I'll come home. I'll read my books, write in my diary, and the day will go by. Not much else to report. I do got some books coming in the mail. I did order I just showed you this Herman Bavinck. I have his I have downstairs a lot of his writings. I also have his 4-volume Reformed Dogmatics, but I also ordered from Reformed Heritage Books in Grand Rapids a biography on Herman Bavinck and a book, A Doctrine of God, The Incommunicable Attributes of God by Matthew Barnett, which I get in the mail. So I got those coming this week. I thought about doing a video of just showing my books on the doctrine of God. I have all kinds of, I have books on every logi of systematics: the doctrine of God, the doctrine of Christ, the doctrine of man, the doctrine of sin, the doctrine of the church, the last things, eschatology, doctrine of the sacraments, books on sanctification, the practical Christian living, all those things, because I collected them, because as you all know, at one time I was pursuing to be a minister and a gospel preacher. a teaching elder in a conservative Presbyterian church, but didn't wind up. When I last worked, I worked in an egg processing plant, and I have not worked since 2007. I'm now going to be 67 years old, and I spend my last days reading the Bible and praying and just trying to live a holy life. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for the comments. This is what I'm reading. This is what's on my mind. And yeah, so I'll sign off. Until next time, bye.